yes, it's time to ingest, and I have a special guest today. Now, I know I say this all the time, but this one's a special nugget. She goes by the name of Abbie James is in the house. How you doing? What's been happening? You good?
No, I'm so good. I've been waiting to speak to you for like ages.
I know, look, we're both busy in our own crazy little universes. Sometimes we do get to align because me and her played together with each other. But yeah, we're in a crazy time at the moment from how it was at the beginning to now. The momentum's madness. Sometimes you think it's going to be quiet, but it's
And then
not.
suddenly,
It doesn't. It doesn't. I thought January was going to be quiet this year, but it hasn't been. So,
no,
oh God. So let's start with that actually. How was New Year's Eve for you? Like, were you performing or were you partying?
no,
What were
I
you
was
doing?
definitely working.
Yeah, where were
So
you
I
at?
did, pardon?
Where were you at? What were you
So I
doing?
was in Mayfair at
Okay.
Bocacino, which was
Bocacino. Bocacino, yeah. Okay. Moving on.
moving on with the lovely Taylor though.
Yeah, oh
I
man.
must add
So
him
much love.
in.
Big shout out to the Wolf
Um,
Drifter.
and then I was in Covent Garden at Cache Cache. Have you done that one?
No, I haven't. What's that one about?
It's like a kind of like an underground club restaurant kind of thing, but you walk through the toilets.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hang on. Hang on. Hold
have you
up.
been there?
I'm saying, yes, I did because I think, what's his name? What's his name? The other sax player I play, which is also in our agency.
Yali.
Yali, yeah, Mr. Yali Sax played there because I went there with my mates, and there was all there sitting there, and I see the saxophonist setting up, and all my mates are going, "Oh, look at that! You got some competition." I'm like, whatever. And then I looked at him and I thought, I know you. So I went up.
Yeah.
That was the first time meeting him in person. Obviously, we speak on Messenger,
Oh,
but
really?
I've never seen him in person. So if that's that place, because you walk through the bathroom and it's small, it's
Yes,
quite
very
personal.
small.
But man, it is some serious dough there. I mean, like we spent a lot there for hardly having anything. Great venue, great little thing. But so you play there then? That's where you were.
So I played there on New Year's with two dancers,
Wow,
which was
wow.
fun, and it was
Yeah,
all
yeah.
like LED vibe, and like yeah, it was fun. Like I literally did 2 hours there, and then I was finished by
Mm.
1.
So how long you been doing that job for? That one there, that one
I've
especially.
only done it once another time.
Right. Okay.
It's part
Yeah.
of one of Bethany
Yeah,
Rose
yeah, of
Visionary.
course.
Shout out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out. You know
It's
what? I'm getting the Bethany on here. And it's 100% happening. And she's
oh
agreed. So this is amazing. Like we got this whole family. Everyone's just going to be linked up. I love this
yeah,
podcast.
for
Thank you for
sure.
doing this. So yeah, so that was the beginning of New Year. And then we go into January, and January hasn't been quiet for you then, no?
Well, I thought it was going to be really quiet, but I was still doing 2, 3 gigs a week, and I thought
Yeah.
I was not going to do anything.
Right.
And then I've been helping to run these like candlelight Lumos live concerts kind of thing,
Right.
um, which has been really fun. And like trying to play like Ed Sheeran with a string trio, and so I've been
Yeah.
fixing all the players for them.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
you know what, it's been definitely a learning curve.
Okay. Yeah. Go on.
I just
Share.
feel like I have so much more respect for people who like run companies now and like
Right.
are sending us to places,
Mm-hmm.
because the stress of like them breaking down or them not getting there or someone being
Yeah.
ill or someone cancelling at 2 p.m. when the show's at
Mm-hmm.
4 in blooming Bournemouth.
Yeah.
The stress of finding players for that and, making sure everyone's going to arrive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is, you've got a lot on the line. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I look 100%. I've been talking with other DJs and performers as well about this because there's all of that. You've got to think about venues. Like there's people can cancel. You can't. Some things just can't be helped. Even for us, we can put the pressure on us. Like we can imagine how many car problems you're always worried about. Like, hope we don't get a flat tire. Do you know what I mean? Do you want to get troubles with tires? Like, I'm not gonna bait you up and put you on the spot, but do
No,
you know what I mean?
oh
Do you
my
know what I mean?
God.
There's things what could happen, and it's out of our hands, and it puts us under so much stress when we're on our way to a gig that we just want it to all go smooth, the journey, so we can just get there for the gig. But let alone the venue, thinking, oh no, and you don't want to let the venue down. It's a lot of pressure on us, and there's a lot of pressure on the venue. So I totally get it.
But now I feel like I'm really enjoying it. But at the beginning, I was like so stressed.
Yeah.
And like, just, you know, you want everything to go right. And I feel I'm so like organized, like to the point of like quite a bit crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
everything's done to the hour. And
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
if other people aren't playing ball with that hour, I'm like, can you just I'm like
So
losing my
your average
shit.
night of you're getting what average time in the morning? What would you say normally on a gig night?
So since September, so since I
Yeah.
stopped uni,
Yeah.
I've been kind of doing different days. So now I'm getting up a bit later. Maybe some days I'll get up at 10, or some days
Yeah.
I'll get up at 9, some days I'll get up at 8. When I was at uni, pre-September, I mean, my life was crazy. I was waking up. You know this because I used to
Of
call
course.
Brendan all the
Of
time, being
course.
like, I'm
Trust
sick
me.
again. I'm ill
Hello?
again.
Again? Okay, take this, take that,
Yeah.
take that. Goodbye.
If anyone needs any herbal remedies, please shout Ruben.
Trust me, I've done my research. I'm not sure if they're listening, right? I try to help these cats out, right? But hopefully, the information I do give them, they do take it on board because, yeah, these things I do believe in the natural way. But yeah, go on.
For sure. But yeah, so before, when I was at uni, I was waking up at 7. I was doing 2 hours practice. Then I was going into uni, doing uni day, probably playing the violin like 2 hours there, etc. Going to all the lectures, coming home, doing the work, then doing another 2 hours practice, and then I'd be going to a gig, or I'd be. Do you know what I mean? And it was my
Totally.
life was
Yeah.
just like.
And you would. That's why I always ask, because I wanted people to understand your side. Like, this girl is a workaholic. Like, obviously on the socials, you see all of us having so much fun, but this girl, out of everyone I know, and musician wise, like we shared a lot. And one thing she shared with me was how much she practiced, because she had so much stress last year with completing the final bit of your university, right? So how many hours practice were you doing a day, would you say?
I would say between 4 and 6 hours I was doing.
Right. And then she's performing at least 5 to 6 times a week.
Yeah.
Maybe if she's lucky, she'll get one day off. Do you know what I mean? And then at the same time, she's like coming back in late, up early, practicing. Same, it's just like that. Eat, like sleep, repeat.
I was just not eating right. I wasn't not drinking enough water. And I remember I've had so many conversations with you about this. You kept saying, you need to drink. You need to have your vitamin C.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was like, you can't. It was like a different life. Do you know what I mean? And you just can't. I didn't have the time for.
This is it, and we're having to work out. It's a new look. This was all new for us, and we were trying to, like, all of us are trying to work out individually what's working for us. Like me, my sleep pattern. I had to make sure I try to get a little bit of a workout here and there, because as I'm getting older, and I won't share that, but things are just a little bit not that loose anymore.
You still got huge guns.
Yeah, but hold it down. But yeah, I mean, look, we have to always take that into consideration. And I was always concerned about yourself, because I know you put so much pressure on yourself, and it was so important that you kind of try to replenish the body just to keep you going, because like otherwise, if you don't work, the performances don't work, and then you don't earn. You know, and you don't complete everything you've been wanting to do. So, yeah, I was always trying to do my best, because
and I think
she is my spiritual like musician twin. Like, trust me, if there's anybody as a performer or matches comes close to my energy, hasn't really hit the bit. Look, listen, right? This girl's energy got me at the beginning, and we'll get to look. All right, I'm going to share this with you. Like, we heard about each other, but we never met each other. We're from the same agency called Rose Visionary. And from the area of North Harrow, I was on my way to the gig, waiting at the train station, and the train was packed. So I get onto the train, and there's this one seat, which is opposite this girl. So I'm sitting there, and we both look at each other. And it's just one of those moments you're thinking, are you Ruben? Are you Abbie? Like, finally, because you kept hearing about each other, but we never got to meet each other. So of all the places, we sat opposite each other. And then we realized that we went to the same music school, which is a Harrow School of Young Musicians. We pretty much had the same teachers. We've done the whole tours. So we kind of straight away got a bond because it was like we connected. We had something which was that we could relate to.
Yeah.
And I thought that was amazing. And then ever since then, on along our journeys, like we've always been trying to support each other. We can help out. Cool. Anything you needed. And I think that's great when you're in that kind of community of where we're at, because it's good to share with someone which kind of understands what you're going through. Because other people see you, feel like, you're having the best time. There's no stress. You're living the life. But you're like behind the scenes. Like, trust me, it is stress. People want to do it. We're just good actors when it comes to a performance. We just got an alter ego who can get onto that stage and perform. So, yeah, that's how we met, isn't it?
That is how we met.
Yeah.
And then we saw each other at the party.
Yeah, the first party. Yeah.
Which was like a week later.
Yeah, crazy.
So random.
I think that was their 1 year anniversary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was visionary. Yeah. And that itself was just like meeting different people within this kind of organization was great, because we got to see, you're there and that person. So we kind of got to put names to faces, which I thought was great. But Rose visionary right now compared to when we were at the beginning.
I know.
You know what I mean? There's like, all of a sudden, like, I thought there's 1 or 2 saxophonists. I'm looking down the list. I'm like, geez, I've got some competition. Like, I'll make sure my game is up here. Do you know what I mean? Because literally, I was kind of, I suppose, in 3rd, 4th gear. Now I'm constantly in turbo. Because I'm all right, you know what I mean? But look, it's all healthy competition. She's got a good little niche there. And I've got so much time for Bethany, especially
for sure.
from the beginning, with how much work she's provided for us and gigs and the venues. But at the same time, we still have to do our bit, you know. And I think we're professional, and I think that's why we're so similar, because when we go out, we do our best. We put the performance on, and we normally get that with the tips we get. Because I know you used to always say to me, "Hey, Rubes, do you know how much I made this week?" I'm like, "Whatever." Yeah, whatever. I'm like, "How did you do that in the same venue I just played at?" I didn't get no tips. Funny. You know what I mean?
I swear we actually had these chats.
Amazing.
Oh my god! Like, if anyone went through our WhatsApp messages,
I know, literally what we went through and what we were trying to keep each other going, and conversations we had, and stresses and dramas. Like, guys, that's a separate episode. Maybe, like I said, I might do one called Frex Knows Best After Hours. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and we can talk a lot more of that. Yeah, trust me. So look, what I normally do is I like to obviously do the intro, but now I would like to go back.
Now we're going back, way back into time.
What got you into playing the violin and music itself? Can you remember the time, the age, and what gave you that connection with your instrument?
So I was 4 or 5. I was in reception at school, and I was just like singing.
Right.
And this music teacher came up to me and was like, "Wait, sing again," etc., etc. And
Right.
she tested me, and she was like, "You've got perfect pitch at 4 or 5." And then brought my mum in. She was like, "She has to learn a string instrument. How about the cello?" And my mum was like, "I'm not fucking carrying that around."
It's true, isn't it? Look at the size of us and that big thing. Do you know what I mean? The parents would be carrying it. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
And then it was like, double bass, definitely not. Harp, too expensive.
Yeah.
Viola, who bloody plays that? And so was the violin.
Right, yeah.
No, sorry to any of my viola fans. I
got one.
You.
I'm going to be doing a podcast with them this Sunday, who's a viola player. Don't worry. I won't mention you, but she'll be watching this.
Oh, no.
Joking.
So, yeah, and then it just happened from there. And I used to just go for my lessons once a week. My mum said when I first learning, I'd only be able to do 10 minutes of concentrating, and then all the other times I'd be lying on the floor.
Imagine that. I can't imagine that. Do you know what I mean? Your attention going somewhere else. But it's amazing because as you were going through it, you started, yeah. I was the same with the sax. It's I'd done half an hour, but the main thing I wanted to do was play football. You know, it wasn't I get it, but I just found it. I found that instrument. I got it. I didn't struggle trying to understand it. Was that the same with you with the violin?
Yeah, I feel like the violin, once you've you know, you've got the technique. And I mean, my first teacher when I was younger, she definitely like imprinted all the good technique from like a young age. I was only allowed to like play open strings for like a year.
Yeah.
You know, and then after a while, then everything started getting a lot quicker. I got through my grades much faster.
Right.
I did National Children's Orchestra, which I loved.
Yeah. Okay.
If anyone does that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you know about that?
Nope.
No.
I didn't know about that. I don't know if that was saxophonists involved with that, or was that mostly like strings and orchestral?
Strings, brass, yeah. Probably
saxophones are like their own little. They can dip in if they want to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but otherwise, you could swing that. Yeah, swerve that. All right. So, and you done all your grades by what age? Did you say you done your grade 8?
I mean, I guess I was 12.
12. Damn you, man! You just keep beating me at everything. I thought 14, I could fly the flag. Yeah, I done my grade at 14. It was just like, I just done it at 12. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. But I'll hold on to that because it's a good one. No one's going to go up and fact check
my mum.
Yeah, I'll speak to mum. Because look, it's funny you mentioned that because your mum and dad, like, they actually run a tennis business, don't they? Right. So it's like, so you could get understanding of like Abbie's background. She's driven. She's very competitive. We've played table tennis together. Trust me, I know how competitive this girl can be. The focus on her face, just on table tennis, doesn't matter whatever we're doing, she's on it. Right, I'm gonna beat you, and that's why I'm frustrated because she's brought the competition in me as well. And you can tell through our conversation and the stories we've talked about already. Me and her are very competitive, but it's fun. But your mum and dad, tell us a little bit about what they do and their background and how much that's influenced you.
Yeah, I mean, so they're ex-professional tennis players. My dad played for Wales and my mum played for England. And yeah, they actually met. My dad came over to coach the English team. And that's how they met. My grandpa set them up.
Yeah.
Would not be allowed nowadays.
Yeah.
I must mention.
Yeah. Of course.
But yeah, I mean, I think ever since I was young, they were just kind of like, I guess whatever you put your mind to, you have to do it 100% or you're not going to succeed.
Yeah. Amazing.
And I feel like it's like so funny because I live with my parents at the moment, and every time I come through the door, my mum's working. And she'll say to me sometimes, you just need to take a break. I'm just like, Mum, are you joking? Like, I actually get really annoyed because I'm are you actually serious right now? You have made me like this. For years, my mum used to, and my dad, they used to get on court at 7 a.m. and they wouldn't finish till 8 p.m.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just think, if anyone's made me like how I am now, it's them.
Yeah.
And my grandpa had a really big influence on my life. Who's sadly not with us anymore. He literally is like, he was my best friend, the cheekiest man you'll ever know. And I feel like I'm quite cheeky, so it's like
100%. And when I've seen you out, you represent that leather jacket like no other. Big up to yourself.
I've never seen me in a leather jacket. That is my grandpa's.
That's the granddad jacket. Big up, granddad.
And he had perfect pitch, so he was, a very high quality musician. Played the sax, sang, clarinet, everything, and he used to work like 4 different jobs a day. And I just feel like I've grown up with very strong influences.
Yeah.
Influential people who work hard.
100%. Yeah.
And if you work hard, then you're going to succeed. There's no way about it.
It's like they've given you the blueprint, of like the discipline. And I learned that with the sax and used that as my blueprint with all other projects I do. Just that discipline and dedication and the time you put into it. And by example, yourself, because apart from achieving the grade 8, would you like to share anything else you've achieved with your violin, please? I'm going to hate this. I'm going to edit this bit, right? Don't worry. I've got the power to edit, right? I'm going to probably cut this out. Sorry, people. I'm joking. Go on.
I got a first class degree, you know it. And then also
Jeez.
for my, I got like the top mark for my final performance.
You hearing this? You hearing this? Yeah. Jeez. Like you
So
go.
I can't not be the best.
This is what I'm saying, guys. I'm so
It's
glad
my
I can share this
problem.
with people. Do you know what I mean? I'm not alone no more. They can see it now. I've got recorded evidence. This is like a time capsule I'm gonna have forever. I've got the evidence. Oh, amazing! Look, I think it's. I want everyone to understand, all the listeners or viewers, this is a blueprint for anything you put your mind to it. It's a lot of commitment, but the rewards is it's very straightforward. Commit, discipline, you'll achieve. End of.
Yeah.
Abbie's living proof. Like I've always envied. Like I wish I was at Abbie's age, which I won't be sharing. I wish I was doing exactly what she was doing at her age, because I'll be living the best life, and it's so good to see herself living that life. And yeah, it's kind of like this is how you should be living, and Abbie is absolutely living it. Like if you can see her social media, guys, I'm telling you, I'm just like, yeah, all the time, different outfits. Like, check me out. You know, the little mirror selfie, and then
The
obviously
little
all the
selfie.
different places. Yeah, she's on the stage. She's doing recordings in the studio. Man, it's just amazing, like what you're doing. So I have to salute you grudgingly, but honestly, I look at what you're. It's funny what you're up to now, and I just want to talk about, like, we touched a little bit on it, but you play in many venues. What would you say your place where you feel like that's my vibe? No, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, because it doesn't mean she's going to choose this one and say that's my vibe and everything else is rubbish. But I have a venue, like, mine, which is Sushi Samba, because I'm just at home there. You know, once you got a place and you feel like when you turn up, you sometimes get a little bit surprised that you're getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
You know, because you're having so much fun. Do you have any venues that you feel like, yeah, I'm just feel like I'm just having fun with myself.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
under
mean,
pressure. You probably have a few.
I think I have quite a lot. I love doing like the big venues, like the
Yeah.
Tate, the National History
Wow.
Museum.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you do feel like a bit of a celeb when you walk in.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I
of
love
course.
doing the abroad venues. Sometimes when you just go, I did, what was that venue called? La Mamounia or something in Marrakesh.
Okay.
That was
Marrakesh.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was
Yeah.
incredible. And you just felt like such a celeb when you walk in. And that's like, what I love to do is to do like, I wouldn't say classical, but it's more classically on my acoustic violin, like playing whatever it is, Arrival of the Birds or Lark Ascending, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like at 7 p.m., this would be like my ideal thing, playing at 7 p.m. And then in the evening, do like an electric violin set where I can just, let my hair down, do a few slap drops.
She dropped it. She actually did it. Oh, I'm gonna love this podcast. This is gonna be gold. I might have to push this to after hours, man. She's done it. She's done it already. She's crossing the boundary. I love it. Love it. Jeez. This is what I mean. She's got my energy. Like we're raw on the stage. It's like we're animals on the stage. But it's all part of a point. We love what we do. So international. Like you've been to a couple of places international. Where do you say your favorite place? Did you say the Marrakesh one or?
Yeah, so Marrakesh was amazing. Amazing gig. And then, I mean, like Italy, I love everywhere. France.
Yeah. It's like the experience, especially when you go abroad.
It is. And I think it's so nice, like, to be part of someone's like special day, like during their wedding. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll 100%. Remember you forever.
Yeah.
But then also,
Yeah. No. You just following up quickly with what you said. It's that wedding, just being a part of someone's special day, and we seem to be in this place where we're constantly in places of celebration.
Yeah.
So the vibrations are just a vibe, like adrenaline's up because we get that, and then when you get that lovely feeling at the end, which is pretty much like most of the time, but everyone's like, "That was amazing, thank you so much, my day is special." It's a nice feeling that you can go home, and you've been part of someone's day as well, and especially with which we're not going to share, especially with how much we get paid. Sometimes you feel like, is that enough? And you justify it, while you're doing your performance. So you don't feel that guilty with what you're taking from them as well. Because you make sure you kind of make sure you do that performance. But yeah, I definitely look at international gigs as something as wherever you're going, it's an amazing experience. And
Yeah.
depends who you're going with.
Well, exactly. That's why I couldn't really say to you, oh, I like this venue, or I like this venue, because, you know, if I'm honest, sometimes you go to a venue, the staff there are really not nice, and you don't feel comfortable in the venue, and you don't feel like you can really, really, really do your best job. Whereas some venues, you're like a bit skeptical, like, oh, I'm not sure I've heard of that. Is that going to be nice? And you go, and it's like the best place in the world, and you're like, everyone is so lovely. I want to be here every week. And I think it's also who you gig with.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I was just on like a really random gig in Vauxhall area, and there was like a trio, and we were just playing in the kind of hotel while people were having dinner drinks, and it was like guitar, singer, and violin. And honestly, I got to the gig, and I'd never met the singer before, or the guitarist, if I'm honest, which sometimes happens. People, we do this.
It does happen.
Jump in, and I just met her, and honestly, I was like, "You're my soul sister." It was ridiculous. Like we just got on like house on fire, and everything we did that whole night, it was just like it just worked. Like, everything we played, it was like she was like singing all the riffs which she was singing. I literally had in my head to play them, and we were like, "Nah, this can't be happening." Like we're like, "This is." And I just feel like we're so lucky to get to experience that. When you just meet someone for the first time, you just gel. And like musically, you gel, like we have. Musically, you gel. Personality, you gel. And like, you know, suddenly she was like dancing, like giving it some, you know,
I know.
Swinging her arse around. And it was just like, honestly, why have I not met you before?
Yeah. Yep. You know what?
It's so special.
I think is that the one? I think I saw it on your stories. Like you and her, she was a singer.
Yeah.
There was one who was singing. She was just vibing with you, and you were just vibing with her on the stage. Yeah. So it was that one. Yeah, because I saw straight away. This is a vibe. But I just, from the outside, I just assumed you've known her for a little while. You practice, and this is you guys just doing your performances. This is the beautiful bit which people from the audience don't see or realize is that we've been doing this for a while, so we use a lot of instincts and a vibe. But the vibe, if we can bounce to someone and they got the vibe, man, the audience is going to have a great show.
Exactly.
You know, and I get that with DJs, I get that with musicians and dancers, whoever's there. If they got a vibe, I'm bouncing. And I think this is a lot of people I've had on my podcasts. Of those ones just have created a vibe with, like we just met first time. And we're like, what is this vibe, you know? So, I totally get what you mean.
And I just think you know, when someone's booking their musicians, they're like often like, how long have you been playing together? I need to see a video of you guys together.
Of course.
But what they don't realise is like the magic in booking musicians from different locations and putting them together.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can have 1,000 times better experience.
Yeah, yeah. But then there's that
other. People need to remember that.
No, I totally agree. And then you got the other side.
Sorry,
you go. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just saying, like when you do like TV work, etc., you know, you're just, you know, sorry, do you mind backing Ed Sheeran tonight? You'll all go, and it'll be like, oh, sorry, how do I know you again? Oh, I think I know you from somewhere. But everyone just gets on because it's an amazing experience, and everyone's so happy to be there. So happy to be doing it. And it just, I
totally, and I think it's nicely the way you said that, because that was the whole point of setting up this podcast. Because we do have a network now. We've been doing this at the beginning. We were like, oh, this is all new. Like, how are we going to do it? Oh, we're going to keep turning up. But now, because we've constantly been moving around and we're playing with different DJs and musicians, we do have a network now. And this is why I wanted to start off a podcast to kind of everyone which we've spoken to normally don't have a platform to for people to have a background of who are they, what they about, because all they see is us behind our instruments or with our instruments, but they don't get to see who we are. and how we got to this place, you know? So it's just,
And
so I
think
want people to
social
understand the journey. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, go on. Yeah.
And I think social media, like, it can give you a perception of what someone's like,
hmm
but you don't really know them. Do you know what I mean?
No,
And I
no
think,
chance.
you know, some people are great with social media. I don't think I'm
Yeah.
that good. I think I'm alright at the stories
Same here.
because I can be like, "What?"
Yeah,
Like, blah,
you're
blah,
good with the
blah.
stories. Yeah, you're good with the
But
stories. Yeah.
like the posting and stuff like that, I'm not doing it for the algorithms. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not
Same
doing
here.
it so much for the
Same
work.
here.
I'm more doing
Yeah.
it just for like myself. I'd like
Yeah.
it to look neat. I'd like
hmm
it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And I
totally
think
agree.
you can get such a perception of people when you see them. And if they don't have like enough followers, you're like, oh, well, do I really want to book this violinist if you haven't got
Yes,
over 5,000
exactly.
followers? It's like,
Exactly.
well, actually, you don't really. Maybe she hasn't got that amount of followers because she hasn't got the time to do the recordings every
Yeah,
day and post them on social media. Do you know what I
I
mean?
agree. I totally agree. And I was about, and it's funny you touched on that because I was about to go on to that because isn't it frustrating that sometimes even though you know what you're about and your talent, that people judge you by how many people are following you. You know what I mean? And I was the same as you because I just got so over. I'm just so over the social media side of just having to put something out for the sake of it. I was just over it. So I had a proper time out from like September to December, and I thought I need like something new to make me feel like I want to put the post out and all this. And I feel like the podcast has given me that little bit of like, oh, at least it's something decent,
Yeah.
some decent content to share, because I can't just kind of look back in my history and feel like, oh, let's just bring that one back forward again and put a nice little spiritual quote underneath, you know. There's like, oh, this takes me back. I remember the days. Just be free, everyone. I just can't be bothered. And I hopefully, you know, and I think with us because we've earned our stripes. We've got a lot of clients, and when we perform, we get more gigs from that because other people take our cards and that. So it's kind of like we're in our own little niche. It's not like those people are depending on numbers, but anybody new, we probably might lose a couple because we haven't got as much numbers as everybody else. But I don't think that's totally affecting us with our journey at the moment because I'm hectic and I know you are, right? And I'm thinking, do you know what? I'm just like, I'm absolutely where I should be, just like yourself. And I'm not complaining when I say I'm hectic. Like, I'm enjoying what I do. It's a lot because I live down in Brighton, just people know. And the traveling part is the part which you feel like I want to find a lot more stuff closer to home.
Yeah.
You know, because the commuting bit is, look, it's great seeing mum. And all that. Trust me, it's great there. But I'm in a single bed in my old school bedroom. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on. Do you know what I mean? I miss Brian. I love the vibe down there. So now we've touched on international gigs and your performances of today. I want to know a lot more, like for yourself. Like, is there anything like project wise you're doing at the moment? Anything like because I touched on you're doing recordings. Right at the moment, I've seen you in the studio. What is that about? What's going on there? Because I'm not sure, but I see things happening. But I'm very curious. Please share.
So, yeah, I mean, I just love recording for lots of different artists always.
Mm.
I do lots of like little private things. So, a few songs which are coming out with some good people, some sensational people.
All right. Okay.
So, yeah, if anyone wants any, recordings, hit me up.
Yeah. Oh, man, don't worry. I'm going to be putting all your deets here at the end, so it's all good.
So,
but yeah, go on.
So I'm doing a bit of that. And then, I mean, I'm kind of thinking about doing my own kind of classical playing.
Okay. Now I'm interested. I'm leaning forward now. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Hold up. You're going to do an album, yeah?
Well, I'm thinking about
I'm telling you guys.
Because I think no one on my social media knows anything about my classical playing. They probably think all I can play is rather be on a electric piano.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely like a private part of it. Do you know what I mean?
It needs to be shared, you know?
Yeah, which I think.
And you put so much time into that, like me knowing you.
Exactly.
That's why I couldn't pick you up anymore.
And I still practice like every day, even now before gigs.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't do 4 to 6 hours, but I do 1 to
Yeah.
2. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think I don't want to completely lose that ever.
Nah,
And so I'm
I
still
totally agree.
having lessons sometimes with my teacher,
Yeah.
and he's like, just do it. Like, you know what I mean? So,
But
yeah,
you give it your style. I think
exactly.
if you could get your personality mixed with that classical and your style, and of course the right producer behind you, man, you'll be flying.
And I
I think
think
they need to know who you are.
ever since like I was a little girl, like everyone,
Mm.
everyone at classical music school, they
Mm.
all like grow up and they're like, oh, I want to be in this orchestra. Oh, I want to be a classical this. I want to be classical that. And
Hmm.
from when I was like, I wanted to be like Vanessa Mellon. There was like no
Of
question. I
course,
literally wanted
she
to
flew
be
the flag. Yeah, she flew the flag. Hmm.
because she plays like she can play like you know the Lark Ascending, for instance. I'm not sure she plays that, and then a
Right.
tango piece, and then she can play
Hmm.
like Vivaldi on electric violin, and just like that versatility
Yeah.
and performance is kind of my um my area
Yeah,
of
but
expertise.
right. So there was that girl, violinist, which I came across, that kind of country one, which you said, oh, yeah, I think I know. I can't remember her name, but she's very popular in the international world. She
Right.
does all the music videos, and it's like the music videos you can see is a lot of money.
Yeah,
You know, they seem to be all very theatrical,
exactly.
drama. And I can imagine yourself going down that path because obviously when I came across that, I like to tease you like, here's the level. You're nearly there. This is the level you need to get to,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But I think that's something you could do, and
And I
I'll
think
be definitely interested.
Lindsay Sterling, right?
That could be it. Yeah.
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 And I think what I also thank my parents for is the fact that when I was younger, it wasn't just violin I was allowed to do. So I used to
Right.
go to dance 3, 4 times a week. I still go to
Right.
dance now. I go to ballet. I
Yeah.
mean, my whole life was not just violin.
Yeah.
I was like on a sports scholarship when I was at my secondary school. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the way you can get to be like a top performer is by having all of these other avenues to play
I
on.
agree.
And the fact
I
that
agree.
I had all that dance training makes me a little bit different, I hope. Do you know
No,
what I mean?
it's another string to your bow.
Exactly.
Excuse the pun, right?
I'm
Excuse the
not
pun.
afraid, because I play for like function bands and stuff like that. I'm not
Yeah.
afraid to do all the dance moves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And play.
Yeah. I totally get it. Totally get it. And it's interesting because I've never looked at it the way you just explained it because I had a break when I got to college from playing the sax and I wanted to do something different. So I got into performing arts. And again, that just gave like you said, another string to the bow because I loved another side of performing. And
Yeah.
that was it in like acting and dancing as well. And I know with all my lot, the crew I've grown up with, that's all we were. We were just out there partying and enjoying the 20s like no other and loving life and jumping on the stage and dancing and doing crazy stuff, caterpillar and all that. Well, that's when I had a good back before the back went bad. Hold it down, you hold it down. But yeah, I used to do all of that, and it's funny because they're all really important for who we are as a
Yeah.
character and our personalities, and one of the things I've known through producing and writing music, one of the key parts at the beginning is just trying to get who you are, your personality through your music. And now I'm in a place that if my friends hear a certain a track I've written, they go, yeah, that's so you, because your personality comes across. So I really, really encourage you following this path and journey. I think after we get off this podcast, I'll be like, right, we need to talk deep about this, because if you're serious about this, like obviously I'll be more than happy to kind of give you some tracks, because I'm back here, got my studio set up, and I'll just chuck some stuff your way. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, I'm not saying I'm a professional, but it'll give you something to practice with, for you to work out your vibe and style with, and especially if you want to go down that classical and where you want to mix it with. I'm very curious about this. Oh man, I think that's so cool. I mean, literally, so you've got those projects which you're doing now and what you're looking to do. I mean, this year for you right now, and I suppose in the next couple of years, what is your target of like what you would like to achieve? Obviously, we ticked one just now, which is like try to do an album. What about your performance side or venues you would like to get to, or internationally places you haven't been and you wouldn't mind? Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing there.
I mean, I'd love to go to the Maldives. I actually got
Who
offered
wouldn't?
the New Year's Maldives job,
Mm-hmm.
but I've had too many gigs, like on the 29th, 27th, 28th. Do you know what I mean?
New Year's Eve, hold up. New Year's Eve, Maldives.
I know, and I turned it down.
Yo, I need cover. Somebody cover me. Do you know what I mean? I need cover. Even though I know if Sushi Samba's listening, I would never cancel you guys because I've done that 3 years in a row. I love that gig, but Maldives would have tested me. Oh, that's amazing. So yeah, Maldives as a target. Where else?
Love to do that. I think this is my first proper year doing it without any other distractions. So I just want to get to the point where I guess I've got all the connections which I could possibly need.
Right. Okay.
And I think I just want, I just want to kind of do what I'm already doing, but just keep expanding and keep getting busy.
Keep expanding. Yeah. But hang on. How can you say keep getting busy when you've got no time? Do you know there's only 7 days in a week, right? And you pretty much, and how many hours in a day? And you need to sleep as well. You're pretty much maxing, and you're saying you want more.
I always want more. That's my problem.
Guys, I hope you like sympathize with me. This is what I'm dealing with. Yeah, it's like she's smashing it. She's maxing out. She's basically maxed out, and she's saying she wants more. This is how driven this girl is. It's amazing, though.
Workaholic.
Like, she's a workaholic, man. Like to the point, she'll work till she's ill.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll panic, say, "Rubes, I'm ill again." And I'm like, yeah, I can understand because there's no rest. The body's trying to say, yo, heads up, I need to have a time out here. And you're like, nah, we ain't got time to rest. We got this to do. We got that to do. Look, guys, apart from that, like, that is the work ethic if you want to be living the life that Miss Abbie James is living, man. Violinist. Like, she is living it. So, yeah, man, I have to salute you. Oh, first of all, like, can't believe this. I know we're going to continue this on a future podcast. And I can't believe we've done this on Frex Knows Best. We finally combined it, us two. I know a lot of people are going to love this. And I'm looking forward to see where this goes. It's started now. I planted the seed. I've got so many conversations. I know you're going to be looking forward to hearing Bethany's one as well, because I can't wait to find out the background of all of that and how it all started for her and so on, and where she's looking to take it. So, yeah, I just want to say, everyone, like and subscribe. And yeah, this is Frex Knows Best. Abbie, as always, it's been a pleasure. Right? Lots of love. Yeah. I can't believe we've done this, but it's amazing. Well done. Honestly, really, I appreciate you coming onto this podcast, and we'll definitely catch up soon. Man, big up. So much love for you, and keep doing what you're doing. We look forward to hearing more about what's happening in the next chapter. All right, cool. Take care. See you later. Bye.